to another video of Godspeed. Today we have the all new MG Hector Plus with us, and straight away let's talk about the engine this car offers. So this gets the same engine the normal MG Hector offers, the 1.5 petrol and the 2-liter diesel. The one over here is the 1.5 petrol hybrid, and it produces 140 bhp power and 250 Nm torque, and it is a hybrid motor, and this particular variant is sharp manual. Now talking about the major changes, you can see the addition of the Neo grille along with some chrome inserts over here, and over here are your new headlamps, projector headlamps along with turn indicators over here and swiping effect, and over here are the DRLs, and the DRLs don't act as indicators now, they are just DRLs now. The indicators are over here which function in swiping effect, and over here is your front parking sensor, and you do get front parking camera is placed over here, and this is how the car looks from the front, and slightly different from the normal MG Hector. And you can see over here the hook to road the vehicle, you get your skid plates below in silver color, and the grille is really very large and bigger than the MG Hector, so this gets a lot of attention on the road. It's a very huge grille, and you can see the sharp design finishes over here like this, and this is the air dam below, and the grille, well, this really looks very nice, and the quality, and these are LED DRLs, and you can see how well they are shaped, the design of them. And if I can show you the functioning of the you can see the DRLs are now on. You can see how well the DRLs look, and let me show you how the indicators function. You can see the indicator in floating effect. This is how the car looks, and so overall from the front everything remains more or less the same, no major changes as such. And going to the side profile of the vehicle, you can see this gets the same alloy wheels, same design alloy, and the size is 215 by 60 17-inch alloys, and you get disc brakes at the front and at the rear also. So all 4 wheels get disc brakes, and you can see the body cladding over here. And coming towards the side, you can see this chrome strip over here, and over here is the Moy's Garage's badging. And this runs throughout the side of the vehicle and really looks very nice. Now there's very small chrome strip on the door handle, and here's the keyless entry button. Here are your ORVMs with turn indicators and camera placement over here, because this car gets 360-degree parking camera. And then there's this chrome strip over here like this, and this goes all the way to the back of the vehicle. And from the car and from the side, the car looks exactly same to the normal MG Hector. You cannot differentiate between the MG Hector Plus and the MG Hector from the side of the vehicle. Now getting towards the rear profile of the vehicle, and before we get there, you can see you get roof rails in silver color, and you get this small spoiler finishing on gloss black color. And coming to the rear profile of the vehicle, from the rear changes, things are even more or less the same. You get a slightly revised tail lamp, and here's the hybrid badging, and the only change at the rear is the design of the tail lamps. And you can see there's no light finishing over here like in the MG Hector. There's the light continuity, which does not look that good to some people, which has been improved in the MG Hector Plus. Below over here are your turn indicators and lights which glow when your boot is opened, or normally the light is turned on over here. These are LED lights with LED turn indicators in swiping effect, and they really look very nice. You can see how well they look. So the light of the car is really very nice, all LED lights. And talking about the boot of the vehicle, this gets swiping effect. You can just do like this, and the boot will open. So with the third row up, you really don't get too much of boot space on offer. Like you see, and there's a boot lamp over here, and you can see fold the third row like this, and then you can increase the boot carrying capacity. But to be honest, the boot carrying capacity of MG Hector would be better, because if you want to fold the third row seats, it's better to buy the MG Hector than the MG Hector Plus, and you can easily pull the seats back as well. And you can see the space on offer is quite decent. Some stuff can be kept inside. Over here is nothing but a storage place and your tool, the triangle. And to close the boot, you can electrically close the boot as well by pressing a button. You can see it closes very slowly, and really it's a very good feature. Now over here are your fake exhausts. The original ones are placed over there. These are fake exhausts, and over here are your parking sensors and your rear skid plate, and you get rear defoggers and rear wiper. There's the shark fin antenna. This is how the car looks from behind and side look combined. It really looks very nice, and very similar to the MG Hector as well. So this is the side look and the rear profile combined. You get an integrated spoiler and gloss black finishes around the C pillar as well, and you get a very small quarter glass. And this is how the rear side of the car looks. And let's get inside the rear of the vehicle now, and we'll get to the third row of the car first to show you how much space is available. Just press this button, and you also get armrests which have to be folded, and the seats can move ahead. Like from here, you have to be moved ahead, and this is the space available to travel to the third row, which is really not good and quite uncomfortable at the same time. Like I'm in the third row now, and to be honest, the space on offer is really not good. You can see how low you sit, and you do get your own AC vents behind over here, and you have the control for your fan speed and a small storage box over here. And same is the case over here. There's a storage place, a charging cable, and the AC vents. And the seats are really very low. Under thigh support is absolutely lacking, and headroom is more than enough, and even legroom is not good. Your knees are really close to your face if you are bigger on height. So the third row is absolutely best left out for children. Normal size people cannot sit in the third row, and that is for obvious. And you do get your headrest over here, and they can be adjusted, so you can small children can easily sit in the third row. But for people of my height, which for reference is 5 feet 9 inches, you really can't sit in the third row. The seat is absolutely uncomfortable, and also the knee room is not good. Under the support I said is not good. So it's best that we move out of here and get into the second row of the vehicle. So now we are into the second row of the vehicle, and coming from the third row, the second row feels really very spacious, and you can adjust the seats over here. That's what I showed you before. Now talking about the doors, this is how the door of the car looks. You get door pockets over here, speaker placement powered by Infinity, and you get stitching on the doors of brown color, and there are some corner black inserts over here, one push down window, and airy door handle, and gloss black inserts, and there are tweeter placement over here. And overall you can see the door closes with a loud thud. The build quality is quite good, no issues on the build quality of the vehicle. And if we talk about the seating experience of the second row, well, I have pushed the seat all the way behind, and the co-driver seat is pushed all the way ahead. And even then, because of this battery placement, your legroom is limited when you sit on the left side of the vehicle, and you do get your own armrest over here, so it can be adjusted, and then it can be increased your space. And to be honest, on the left hand side, this battery placement makes the seating experience not very good. And there's this passage in between from which you can come from second row into the third row, and this is how the third row of the car looks from behind. You can see the space on offer is really not very good. And now let's get to the other side of the vehicle, and the seat has been pushed all the way ahead, and this seat is pushed to my driving position. And coming on this side, it's really not a big issue, but even then the space on offer is just average. My feet are touching over here. So let me push the seat again backwards, and over here you get your own AC vents. And if we go below, you can see we get a 5-watt charging socket and a storage place below over there. And the floor area is completely flat. There's absolutely no hump in between, so that's a very good thing. And on the right hand side when you sit, you get some space below the seat to stretch your feet. And now you get a grab rails over here, and there's a light placement over here as well on both the sides. And over here is the large panoramic sunroof, and over here is the hook for your seat belt on both the sides. And even over here you get your armrest, and you get captain seats in this vehicle. There are no option for bench seat on the second row of the MG Hector Plus. You only get captain seats. Now the second row gets this magazine holders, and you get leather seats, leather upholstery, and under the support is really quite good in these captain seats. Headroom is just more than sufficient, and legroom is also just sufficient, nothing much. The space on the MG Hector, normal MG Hector, is actually more than the MG Hector Plus, because in the MG Hector Plus the length is slightly increased by 65 mm, and in that increment they need to give the third row also, and also good space in the second row. So it is for obvious that the rear seat experience, the rear space will be more in normal MG Hector when compared to the MG Hector Plus. So this car is a proper 6-seater, because even at the back only 2 people can sit. So only 6 people can sit inside this car. MG Hector should have offered at least a bench seat configuration in the second row in the MG Hector Plus, but it is only available in a 6-seater configuration. Enough of the rear seat experience, and that's how the new dashboard looks. Quite similar than before, but how is it to operate? Let's get to the front seats. Now this is the key of the vehicle. You get 3 buttons to lock, unlock and open the boot of the vehicle. So let's open the driver's side door now. And the door opens wide enough so you can easily get inside. And the door over here houses controls to lock the vehicle, controls for your windows, and controls for your mirrors are placed over here, along with the button to open your boot. And here's the cruise control button, the headlight leveler, and this is to electrically fold the mirrors as well. Electrically fold them as well. And then there is a small grab rail in silver color, and the front door pockets are of more or less the same size of the rear door pockets. And over here are your speakers powered by Infinity. And the driver's side seat can be electrically adjustable in 6 ways. This is adjustable in 6 ways, but the co-driver side seat is manually adjustable. But if you opt for a diesel model, the co-driver side is also electrically adjustable. Now let me close the door, and listen to the door off first. The door closes with a loud thud, which means the build quality is quite good of the vehicle. And you really sit very high, and you can very easily see the hood of the vehicle. And now I'm adjusting the seats again to my driving position. Now this is how the dashboard of the car looks. The only new part of the MG Hector Plus is that you now get a dual tone dashboard, unlike the MG Hector. The MG Hector had an all black interior theme. It also had this leather insert, but in black color. In MG Hector Plus you get this leather insert around over here, starts from there, and even is present over here, and all is in brown color. And this is the center armrest, leather wrapped, and you can open up and there's some space below. And one feature which I forgot to show you in the rear seat is the there's ambient lighting in the rear door. When you open the door, the light glows somewhere from here or somewhere from here below. It glows when the doors are open. And talking about the steering wheel, it can be adjusted from here, and it is adjustable both for reach and rake, which is quite a good thing. So let me adjust it to my position, and over here the MG logo. On the right you get controls related to your infotainment system, and on the left are the controls for your cruise control. Over here are the controls for your headlamps, and on the left are the controls for your wipers. Now you get automatic headlights, rain sensing wipers. The plastic quality of the car overall is really quite good. Even at the sides, when nobody actually notices, the plastic quality is quite good. And there are a lot of black chrome inserts, or you can say piano black touches. And the gear lever is really quite smooth to shift, nothing major problem. And the overall seating comfort of the car is really quite good. You can see how well the seat has been designed, and the seats are really very comfortable and can hold you for long journeys. And the ORVMs are really big in size, so you got a large view of what's happening behind, and same is the case with that ORVM. And the IRVM is just decently sized. You can see what all is behind very easily, but the rear windshield is quite small. You can see the rear windshield is quite small, not very big. And you can see how well this stitching looks over here. And over here is a bit of a hazard light, as I showed you before. And talking about the footwell area, even that is quite good. You get a dead pedal over there, and there's a good space between your clutch and the brake, and so that is a quite good feature and quite nicely designed. And the armrest cannot be adjusted. That's a small con I feel inside the car. The armrest is not adjustable. It is fixed at one position but can be opened. And the handbrake placement is also quite good. You can easily use the handbrake. But the gear positioning is really quite in front. It is really far away from the hand, from the armrest to the gear. The distance is quite large, so sometimes it might be a major issue because of people who like to sit behind like me. For them, operating the gear might be a small issue. And you get a 6-speed manual gearbox, both in petrol and diesel. And in the petrol you also get an option for a DCT automatic gearbox. Now over here are 2 cup holders, and if you can see inside, there's ambient lighting over here. This light glows, and around over here silver finishing. And over here are buttons. This is for the 360-degree parking camera. This is for the parking sensors. This is for the auto start stop, and this is for the rear AC vents. Now over here there's a small storage place where you can obviously keep your keys. and over here are the ports for charging port, aux cable and USB port. And this is the large infotainment system. And if we talk over here, there are some cubby holes present over here, and below from there you can open the fuel lid and the hood of the vehicle. Both of them can be opened. And over here the AC vents, and the AC vents get some silver inserts around them. On all the 4 AC vents you get this silver insert around them. You can see there are 4 AC vents in the front row and 2 at the third row. Now talking about the sunshades, the co-driver side sunshade gets a mirror with a light, and same is the case with the driver side mirror. Side sunshade, you get a mirror with a light. And over here is the sunglass holder, and you can turn on the lights like this, and this is the control for your sunroof. And the worst part over here is you do not get any sort of electrically dimming mirror. You can see it is manually dimming. You spend 20 lakhs and you don't get a electrical dimming mirror. That's a major feature missing over here. Let's open the glove box and check out the space. So the glove box is decently sized. I won't say it is very spacious or lacks in space. It is decently sized, not a very major issue. And over here is the button for to engage or disengage the traction control, and over here is the button for your hazard lights. And the dashboard is really not very long, so it is not a very major issue. And you get leather inserts on top of here as well, and you can very clearly see the hood of the vehicle. Now this is the steering wheel of the car. As I showed you, this can be adjusted for both reach and rake. And you get tweeters over here for the front row. And over here is the button for the start stop, engine start stop. And this button is quite weirdly placed because you will have to search for this at once. And if you bring the car to ignition, you can see this turning on. And talking about the instrument cluster, this is a digital instrument cluster with slightly analog touches, and this system takes a lot of time to turn up, so that is something I won't appreciate much. It takes a lot of time to turn up. You can see it has been loading since a long time. And talking about the instrument cluster of the infotainment system, over here is the button to turn it off. This is for the volume up down. And here are the controls for the defoggers. And here there are no physical controls for the AC vents. There are no physical controls for the AC vents. You have to control the AC from here. You can see the AC controls are present over here. Now you can see the AC controls, and let's bring it to automatic. And you can see all the controls are over here. You can control it manually from your hand as well. And first you have to turn it on, and let's ask the car itself to turn the AC on. Hello MG.
I'm here.
Turn on the air conditioning.
Please start the engine and then try again.
So as you saw, you'll have to turn on the engine to bring it to ignition first. The car is not in ignition currently. So let's get back to the normal home page. And so this gets Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and phone connectivity as well. And you can see over here will be displayed your name once you log in into the account. And over here will be displayed the time and the city you are currently in, and the temperature of the city. And the plastic quality of the dashboard is really quite good. And let's play an audio track to test the audio quality. So the system is currently not catching signals because the car is inside the showroom, so we cannot test the audio quality. But I can guarantee you one thing, that the audio quality is really quite good inside the car. And let's press this button and test the parking camera of the vehicle. So okay, this is the front camera, and you get a bird view monitor, and this is on the side view of the vehicle. And this shows the tire turning, and this turns into the rear parking camera when you are turning to the rear. And you can see this is the rear of the vehicle. You press this button to toggle through it. Let's get back to the normal home page. The system is really quite sleek to operate, but it is really very large and sometimes can be a little distracting to use it. And this whole system around it is finished in gloss black finishing. And let's bring the car to ignition now, and let me show the sunroof of the vehicle. You can see how this goes. And let's turn off the air conditioning. So we'll ask the car itself to open the sunroof of the vehicle. Hello MG.
Hi, how can I help?
Open the sunroof. So you can see the sunroof is opening, and you get a very large panoramic sunroof on offer. And You can see how well the large sunroof opens, and the cover opens all the way till the back. So we can now close the sunroof and we'll ask the car itself to do it. Hello MG,
I'm here.
close the sunroof.
Pardon?
Close the sunroof. So this took a little bit of time, but the function worked. So this system can be a little laggy at times because it is laggy when you give it voice commands, and this system now also introduces chit chat function. You can now talk to the car if you are feeling bored, and that is something we can do if you're stuck in traffic. It is not recommended when you're driving and you talk to the car. The steering wheel has some silver inserts around them. You can see the silver insert around them, and the steering really feels very good to hold and is very. So currently we'll also give you a drive review of the car very soon. The car is currently not available. Once the car is available, we'll surely give you a drive review of the car. Now talking about the safety aspect of the car, this car offers 6 airbags, ABS, EBD, traction control, ESP, hill hold control. So safety on offer is really quite good. It is the same in both the MG Hector and the MG Hector Plus. Now what is the major different thing between this and the MG Hector? Now the normal MG Hector offers 5 seats. It is a 5-seater, and this one is a 6-seater. So if you are someone who wants a car with captain seats at a very low price, because the car's price is still not revealed, every other detail has been revealed, only the price is yet to be revealed. So you can definitely buy this car if you want a car with good features and from a new brand, and you'd want captain seats, because captain seats is something which really very less people demand for, and yet if you want them, you can definitely buy this car, because the direct competitor of the car will be Innova Crysta, because this car has the dimensions which match to the Innova Crysta, and the price might also match to the Innova Crysta. So you can definitely check out this car at the showroom once the car is launched. We'll let you know in the comment section of the pricing of the vehicle. Nothing else is a major difference between this and the MG Hector. If you have a lower budget and you can compromise on a 5-seater, you can definitely buy the MG Hector. Even that is a nice vehicle, except for the fact if you need some comparison videos of the MG Hector, do let us know in the comment section. That said, if you enjoyed the video, do the like button. Also subscribe to our channel and do visit godspeed.in for more great car news and car reviews. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Goodbye.